Anyway, Daily Mail still doesn't know how to format its website. Father is accused of Googling how to make a child disabled in a bid to give his newborn son brain damage and claim more benefits in family court case. Were you having a good day? I'm here to change that. I shouldn't be laughing. But if I don't laugh, I'll cry. A family court has heard allegations a father was Googling how to make a child disabled in a bid to give his newborn son brain damage to get more money from the government. The case came during the first day of an extended transparency project, which allowed journalists to report on every family court case for the first time. It comes amid renewed concerns about the way family courts are dealing with cases where there are allegations of child abuse following the horrific murder of 10-year-old Sarah Sharif in Woking by her father and stepmother. In a case at Reading Family Court during the first week of the Transparency Project, lawyers argued against this report being published. On Monday, the court heard the baby was admitted to the Royal Berkshire Hospital last year and was found to have a fracture in its shin. The baby's mother had called the police on the night of the incident, telling a 999 call handler, "My husband killed my newborn baby. Please help me, please help me." When officers arrived, the mother alleged the father vigorously shook the baby and said the child stopped breathing, went blue and floppy. Court documents reveal the mother stated the father took the baby from her when she was breastfeeding him, saying he did not deserve the milk. He said to the mother that if she came over to him to get the baby, he would throw the baby to the wall or on the floor. This is horrendous. He was shaking the baby back and forth at this time and then held out the baby in line with his arms. Then, above his head, shaking him aggressively. The baby was crying, but then he stopped crying and turned blue. Speaking to police at the family home, the mother reported the father had threatened to throw the baby, stating, "I throw you, I kill you, baby, I kill the baby." Wow, I wonder what ethnicity these people are. The father, who was arrested and bailed, denied having harmed the child, suggested his wife was stressed or depressed. He later gave a statement where he alleged the mother bullies him, calls him names, and physically chastises their children. Following the strategy meetings between the police, social services, and the paediatrician from the hospital, the court was told the mother had made a number of allegations against the father, including that he would wake up the baby when he was asleep and say things like, "Fuck you, little kid, stop crying, little devil, it's a fucking baby. It's a fucking baby, you piece of shit." Demonic. The mother had seen the father Google how to make a child disabled, so she thinks the father is doing these things to give him brain damage to get more money from the government. He has also been seen to make the baby cry deliberately. Court document. Who makes a baby cry deliberately? It's such a relief when they stop. You don't want your baby to cry. Although, see, to be honest, like a little pick up, a little cuddle, like that does it. You're like that. I also know the funny things to do to make them stop crying. I'm not going to confess what it is that I do, right? I'll give you one hint, right? For my eldest, the key to getting her to stop crying is something called the lamb dance, which is a thing I do. Right? She loves it. It's amazing. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm not telling you what the lamb dance is. However, she wants me to do it. She gets me to do it an awful lot, and it's a good way to get her to stop crying. I'm not telling you what it is, though. She further alleged the father has hidden her and her children's passports to prevent her from returning to their country of origin. There it is. Which cannot be named to protect the family's anonymity. The father denied all of the mother's allegations in the strongest possible terms, he said in a document filed with the court. But after the baby's shin fracture was discovered, the mother herself was added to the pool of possible perpetrators, and she was arrested and bailed over the injuries which she denied causing. At the hearing on Monday, Dr. Patrick Cartledge confirmed he had concluded the fracture was caused to the baby was most likely caused non-accidentally. He said shaking was a possible cause, but added that an adult changing the baby's nappy in a frustrated manner was also a common cause of such fractures. How hard do you need to change a nappy to fracture a fucking shin? I mean, that's a little bit more than a frustrated manner. The court was conducting a fact-finding hearing to determine whether the threshold criteria are met. The threshold criteria are facts that must be proved during care proceedings before a court can consider making either a care order or a supervision order. It held the local authority had instigated I need to stop doing these so late at night. Instigated protective measures in relation to the children, as it was concerned they would suffer significant harm as a result of the care their parents were giving to them. If the mother's account is true, the baby was likely cause significant physical harm, i.e., concussion, court documents submitted by the council state. If the mother's account is untrue, the children have likely suffered emotional harm or were at risk of the same by virtue of false allegations having been made. The court-appointed guardian on behalf of the children was arguing for them to be taken into foster care, something which the mother opposes. The case continues. What a horrendous piece of shit. What an actual just horrendous piece of shit that this guy is. Googling how to make your child disabled. And then trying to actually make the child disabled so that he could get more money from the government. Like, I don't know why she didn't just grab the children and flee. Like, as soon as you go to the police and go, oh, by the way, like, oh, they'll run in there. It's the one thing that the police actually do well. That's one thing, well, maybe not if you're a little white girl in Rotherham, but it's like in instances like this, it's the one thing, especially because of Baby P, the Baby P incident. If none of you know what Baby P is, you're the one of the lucky ones. Do not Google it. It's a horrendous case that basically caused a lot of changes in the way that social work and everybody actually work with children that are at risk of abuse. Just trust me, don't Google it. Don't Google it, right? But basically, as soon as you go to the government or social worker or anybody about any of these things, they are on that shit immediately. It's one of the very few things that they actually do well. Right, so basically, if you ever suspect anybody doing that, snitch right away, they will look into it. They will 100% look into it. But basically, how much of a giant piece of shit do you need to be to completely, essentially, because as soon as you make somebody brain damaged at that age and everything, that's their life completely changed forever, right? This guy was basically willing to sacrifice a newborn baby's life for money, to get more money from the government. Right, and then I don't know, the mother's giving me a little bit of an iffy feeling as well. I don't know why she didn't do more to stop and prevent it. That's a little bit confusing. I don't know if she was in on it. Maybe it could explain the shin fracture or something. I don't know. But anyway, this is just horrendous. I'm sorry. I don't know why. But for some reason, people send me these articles and want me to cover them. And then every single time I cover them, everyone in the comments is just like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, well, people wanted me to cover it. You know what? Fuck this video.